My first guest has created a slew, and I don't use that term loosely, of memorable characters for television and film. He is an Academy Award nominee and Emmy winner. Please welcome James Woods.
There was never a doubt in my mind that the king was still with us.
Yeah.
Never a doubt in my mind. How was the last 7 minutes of your life? Was that a little tough? A little tough? Tough 7 minutes?
Jesus, man, I wished I was in Graceland. You know, no, we had Sean Young on the other night. And,
boy, he doesn't waste a minute. First of all, you got to understand something about these shows, okay? They always do.
These shows, all of a sudden you lump me, all of a sudden
Hey, you're in there, you're killing them the first week.
Yeah.
I wanted to be here the first week, because I know there's going to happen somebody else. Just softening up the battlefield here before we get in. No. Just a little airstrike.
But Sean came on and she said she'd like to get back together.
She's waiting in the and what is that floating green room they have in there?
Zero gravity
green room where she's functioning very well, oddly enough. Now, what they don't know about these shows is that usually we do a pre-interview.
Yeah.
And like they call up and they ask you questions, you tell these like boring stories from your past, and they go, God, that's really, really hysterical, and you come out and you tell them all over again. But tonight, we're flying at the edge of the envelope because I said, I don't know, just let him talk about whatever he wants. And right out of the gate, boom, Sean Young. You know? They give him an inch, they give him a millimeter, and he takes...
Jimmy, we're working without a net. I'm scared. Hold me, hold me.
No, it's why I chose to come here like a mafia band leader tonight, you know, with white jacket.
You look good. You look like what's that new Armand Asante film? The
which one is that? The Mambo King.
Yeah, the Mambo King.
Like
you look like a Mambo King.
I'm like a Mambo prince.
No, you and Sean, you're old news. You're in love now, aren't you? Marrying John Tesh or something, or Byron Allen or Connie Selico?
Little lie thing or
what the hell's
John,
going on over there at that show? That's
John,
everybody
what's going on over there?
All relationships in Hollywood somehow work through the Entertainment
I think
Tonight
they all
desk,
met to their, I think they all met to their plastic surgeons over there. There's a lot of like stapling and thing and plugging and so on. So I guess they all got together and they're all doing fine, you know.
Have you seen Lisa Gibbons' new one-woman show, Lisa with a Z?
No,
it's
Lisa with a Z. Yes, Lisa. Lisa with a capital Z. Yeah, it is interesting about the... by the way, you know, for the record, like, because I never get to say it and I never talk about it, I actually think Sean's really a terrific girl.
Yeah?
Really, she is a terrific girl, and she's very talented, and it's just like a little old already. It's kind of like a half a decade old.
I felt like a hack saying it, but,
I mean,
you know, I didn't know how else to... Yeah, there you go. Right. I've got the go-ahead from the main gal up there. Yeah, well, it was tired of me to ask that question. Let's talk about acting. Jesus, you're great.
No, let's not talk about acting. Let's talk about trash. Don't you guys want to talk about trash?
You know, my favorite scene you ever did is when you went into the Coke heart attack in the Boost, man. I just looked at you and I said, who goes further out than Jimmy Woods, for God's sakes, man?
Yeah, the guy said, I mean, first of all, you got to, I don't know if you know the reference he's talking about, but in the Boost, the guy snorts some bad Coke. I mean, not that there's good Coke, even though Mr. Heroin, of course, might say otherwise, but Smack of the Month Club leader might say otherwise, but
the white grocer.
Worse than your average bad Coke was this Coke that my character was supposed to... I mean, I did this movie as sort of an anti-drug thing, and I ended up with, 5 years of tabloid and legal exposure. But anyway, the intention was good. But there was a scene where the guy is supposed to snort this really bad Coke, and he has a grand mal seizure. Among which, of course, is that they had to wire my trousers with this tube because, you lose a lot of control and so on. And it was a pretty devastating kind of scene to have to do. If the picture had been a hit, I would have been a major hero. As it is,
I thought that was a good film, man. You know what it was? It's like you said. Coke, inevitably, is the darkest of all possible scenes.
Yeah.
And it stayed true to that. I mean, at the end of that film,
Oh, yeah, it's really the
I
end of
who
the world.
liked the film, was cringing, thinking,
Yeah, it's
for
tough.
God's sakes, you got to end this.
It's
Because at the
tough.
end, he was just a veg, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, they always are. I mean, there's two ways to go. You know, you either get better and don't do it, or you do it and you die.
Right, there's not many people doing a subtle dance with blow. It's
No,
either,
no, it's not like you do like a little bit and your life's like a little better
Right,
for a
right,
while, then
you
you can
know.
control it. You know, it's not good.
I just use it for my glaucoma. It's really good.
It's an intestinal thing. It kind of helps. I
Now,
can't explain it.
Do you still stay in touch with the ponytail from True Believer?
You know, I got to tell you that thing, the raccoon. I used to have to wear that thing around. I got to tell you how daffy I am when I work. I used to have this thing, and every day at the end of the day, I'd say, "Is that the last take? Did you print off?" I ripped this thing off, and I'd throw it down and step on it. A couple of times I set fire to it. And one day I came in, and we had a big courtroom scene, and I was with Downey, Bob Downey, who's fantastic, and also in the waitlist green room most of the time, and I love him, but I came in one day, and you sense there's something wrong in the room. And I was walking around the set, and thinking about the scene I was doing. All of a sudden, I kind of noticed one guy, and I noticed another, and then another woman on the set, and I realized that all 102 members of the crew had ponytails on that day, all of which looked better than mine. And it was like a really strange experience. It took me like about 4 hours to notice it, which was really the devastating part of what my level of concentration was. But it was really annoying. I mean, it's just annoying having this thing. I mean, women are used to kind of flipping their hair around and have to talk, but I'd always turn around and have this like face full of Davy Crockett. But the real guy had it, so I had to have it,
I have a good comedian friend named Jess Cesario. He has the best quote of yours. He cut it out of a magazine somewhere where you said, "I know you to be a very bright man." I mean, obviously.
not judging by the empirical evidence tonight, but otherwise.
You said that you think you're a bright man, but then you got into show business and found out there was no call for that.
Yes, that's right.
You sometimes think
I was overtrained in the wrong discipline. Yeah, it's a tough business to be smart in. I think it is. I mean, first of all, because of the ego levels of the people you're dealing with and your own, and a lot of times, especially if you're an actor, people sort of expect you to kind of want to wander along with the herd, and if you have an idea of your own, all of a sudden it gets really annoying to people who are supposed to have all the ideas, like the writers and the directors. And I try to think of it as a collaborative effort, and it sometimes is very productive when it is, but sometimes people get their noses out of joint, so to speak.
1579 on your boards?
Okay, let me clear this one up, okay? Because it's like, okay, we got
we're
Sean Young
taking care of all the
their
garbage
boards,
tonight.
okay?
We're going to tighten this up.
It was actually, I had an 800 on my English composition achievement test.
Oh, okay.
And I had a 779 on my math SAT, and I can't remember the other. And this is the last time.
12 times 12.
12 times 12, 144.
Bingo. 800. We'll be right back after this, folks.